Behold, a virgin shall be with child, and shall bring forth a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel, which being interpreted is God with us. I know this is not normal, but if you don't mind, we can just have a word of prayer, very short prayer.
Yeah.
Our beloved, beautiful Father, Almighty God, awesome in purity, we thank you for seeing this day, which we believe in our minds, and we thought since we were born up to date that a time like this is when you offered your son to this world, from the woman's womb to the world. And Father Lord, the amazing thing that I get, you meant by his birth to be with us, and therefore I speak that you will be with us. Let us not kill your son on the way. Let us be with him throughout, not just the year, not even the coming year, but even the whole life until our death. In the name of Jesus Christ we pray, trust, and believe.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. I know it's very rare, but it have to happen because truly we are saved, and truly we are good, right? So good morning once more. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, I believe right now, according to how the white man tells us, is morning. But I want to believe that also, according to us, is midnight, right? Today, I wanted us to have a very, very crucial topic here. And I know that as we get out of this place, as we get out of this show, we have enjoyed ourselves, and this enjoyment will not be over, but also we will have learned something that we were meant to learn today, for those who were meant to learn today, and even for those who will be learning this online maybe later. I want to believe that it will be very helpful to all of us. Today I came to talk about morality, and I added something there. It is what I called egalitarianism of people and elitism of ideas. Let me explain what that means. Egalitarianism of people means how we are all equal in the eyes of God, and elitism of ideas means how we have a difference in our ideology. Now, maybe someone may start wondering, how is our difference compared to morality? And this is the key thing here. Please have me undivided attention right now, because if you don't understand this right now, you may keep your ways and even your whole life from here without understanding it. So please give me undivided attention now. We all are equal in our Maker's sight, but He Himself liked us to have a difference in ideology. If you don't believe me, think about the Tower of Babel, right? He said this, you know what, these guys are gonna come up to me, and what I'm going to do is to confuse their languages. For which purpose? For some people to think in their own way and others to think in their own way. And that's what I call elitism of ideas. Up to this point, I believe that we might be together. Now, if we have the elitism idea from our Maker, how about the egalitarianism of people? We are all equal, regardless. You were born, I think according to how I understand it, it's not even in the birthplace, because there are some kids who actually are born, and that very same hour the mother gives birth, you'll see a bundle of cameras trying to snap that kid. And there is another child, when he or she is born, even the village itself will notice after maybe a week or a couple of months later. So that's not what I mean in the equality of human. It is by the fact that all of us, we live to answer 4 questions of life. We live to answer the question of origin, meaning, morality, and destiny. Origin, where did you came from? Meaning, what is the meaning of your life? What is the meaning of being here? What is the meaning of you living today and tomorrow? What is the meaning of you having plans to live? Morality. What do you use to define good and evil? What do you think about being right and wrong? What do you think about bad and good? And destiny. What happens to human beings when they die? Ladies and gentlemen, I took the point about morality because this to me is the problem of man. He no longer knows what to laugh at and what to weep at. You find out that people are staring on a screen, watching that which is vulgar and yet laughing at it, something that otherwise should break your heart. It makes your heart. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, whatever makes your heart tells your God of who you are, and whatever breaks your heart tells your God of who you are. Let things that break your heart be the things that truly can only break the human heart. You find out, and I think this is something that I've never understood up to date. When you see people maybe in prayer centers, instead of somebody rejoicing because they are with God or they believe that they are with their Maker, instead of that, they often cry. I really wonder about that, right? I've never known about that. But indeed, you should be very happy when you realize that you are at home, you are at your Father's feet. You know what, ladies and gentlemen? Everyone likes to be home, and home sounds good. So when we talk about morality and being equal in the eyes of God, and again having difference in our ideology, now let's put this all together for a moment. When you think about something that is wrong, don't often think that you should be very many people agreeing in that wrong. And when you come to the fact that you think something is right, don't think that many people will join you to think that something is right. However, and now this is the point, if something is right, regardless of how many people say it's wrong. And if something is wrong, it's wrong, regardless how many people will try to say is right. So I think that is clear to each and everyone today, that whatever is right, whatever is wrong is wrong. The law of morality was not invented. We actually observe it. It is a law of God. It's like a law of mathematics, a law of gravity. You cannot change that. And those who we find that they say they just observed them. They didn't create the law. They just invented. They just found out that there is such law. But they didn't create it. It was there even before they invented. Right? So this is my point to you, ladies and gentlemen. When we think about our differences in ideas, let us not involve morality there. For example, we have artists today. When you sing and I don't sing, that doesn't affect the law of morality, because you may be singing it's right for you, I'm not singing it's right for me. But when you commit murder, trust me, however bad you try to justify it, in whichever means, it's evil. Regardless, maybe you have caught someone stealing and you say, you know what, he is a thief. The moment you killed that that thief, you have done something which is evil. So, I hear people often saying that the end justifies the means. But I want to tell you tonight, I go contrary to that. Honestly speaking, when you say the end justifies the maybe the means, that is. I'll ask you a simple question. Right in Kenya, we have a problem with poverty. As far as we are trying to eradicate poverty, is still there. And even if we cannot see it in the part we are in our country, it's still presently and very sound in other parts of the country. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would ask you a very simple question. What if we wanted to eradicate poverty today? And I want you to be very keen now. This is my point. What if we say that if we are eradicating poverty, we will kill all poor people and be left with rich people? And please talk with me here. Do you think we will eradicate poverty? Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a talk here. Do you think we will eradicate poverty? Let's be honest. Let's think. We have killed all poor people and we have left the rich people only. We have eradicated poverty, right? But this is my question. Does that end justify the means you have used? Definitely not, right? So this is my point. Even if we were to finish corruption, like which is very present and sound in our country, and we say that we kill anybody who is above 10 years because I think that's the years they get corrupt, still we would have said we have eradicated corruption, but the fact remains that we will still have destroyed some other part. So this is my point to you and to me also. Regardless of how you believe, regardless of what you do, regardless on what you take and you justify it, regardless of the number of people you agree with to do something that is evil is evil. And you know what? It doesn't change that law that it's evil and good. I think there we are clear. It doesn't change that law. When you agree as many as possible and you say, you know what, this is what we are gonna do, that doesn't mean that is absolutely right. Maybe it's your culture, tradition, belief, or even a policy that you have set. And I want to tell you today, ladies and gentlemen, truth doesn't make sense in political arenas, in cultural arenas, and in very many pursuits. But this is my point to us. However bad you try to ponder it, it will still come back to life. Regarding to all of us, I remember very soon, maybe recently, like a week ago, as we were planning to be here, the fact of the matter is we planned and we were very certain that this is what we're gonna do. But the truth of the matter is, if one of the parties fail and maybe he or she was playing a very critical position, we will fail the whole deal, regardless of how bad we wanted to take it. So, ladies and gentlemen, in this Christmas season, I want to say this to you, that we have come to a point where I don't want to call it the birth of Jesus. Because, and please tell me this, maybe don't answer me, but just tell me this within your hearts and mind. When we often say that every December 25 Christ is born, then when do we really kill him? And you go on and on and on and on, and then another December comes, he is born. Let's agree, maybe we celebrate his birthday, but not that he is born. He was born. He is still alive. Not that some few minutes ago he was dead, or rather he was not conceived. He is still alive. Regardless of how much you want to think about your own life, without him, and I don't necessarily like considering him as Jesus or as any other words, the fact remains that he claimed to be the way, the truth, and the life. The God with you and me. Tell me, ladies and gentlemen, whatever you do, you cannot do without God, right? So, he called you, or rather when he was born, he became God with you. So, how many times do you kill him? You know yourself. Because anytime you go contrary to what he likes, then you kills him, because he is no more with you. Listen, gentlemen, it is very, very clear to all of us that when we want us to do something good, we often like to maybe accompany, or rather to be accompanied by many people when we are trying to do something good. But this is my point. It is not often clear to everyone what is your vision. It's not often clear. And especially society goes contrary to honesty. Whenever you are thinking about honesty, then don't wait for society to totally agree with you. Not unless, and this is the point I'm very happy about, not unless they are maybe taken to a certain corner and they reach now to a certain fix, and now they remember about your truth. And that's how it works. Not unless they are fixed and they reach to a corner, they remember somebody somewhere said something which was right. And imagine what? It's always late. That is all what surprises me. It's always late. Don't expect to come up with something that you feel it's within you. You have not come out with it just because maybe it's a public demand, or it's something that you have felt, you know what, these people want this taste. The fact you come out with something that is true, it is often guarded by a lot of contrast. Reason being, many people, including myself, we tend to run away from truth, yet we are formed by that truth. It cannot go away from us. That's why you see when you come here or you go somewhere else and you do something that is maybe, weird or abnormal or a bad thing, when you're alone somewhere, you'll come and realize and say, you know what, I did something bad. Why do you realize? Because your instinct doesn't allow you to do something that is evil. Doesn't allow you. And not unless you ponder it and you just move forward. But it will still come back to you and tells you, you know what? You did this and you did that. We are products of our minds. And I often say this. We have social media, and I love social media personally. Only that maybe I have not got to have a good use of it so far. But I want to say truly, I love social media. For heaven's sake, I love it. It's very easy how nice idea can be seen from here and goes from there. But this is my point to us. It's very rare to find someone getting to social media with an aim of being there just to deliver the message. What we look so much for is the likes, is the comments, is that company. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it's very nice, very sweet in fact, because you get those people. Of course, you cannot be created and live alone. We need people to hang out with, we need people to be with us. But this is my point to us. Since when will we come to a point of truth? This is the answer. And now listen to me very keenly. The world will never come to a conclusion of having the truth, all of it. I know you may disagree with me, and I'm not fixed to that. I'm actually very open to be convinced otherwise. But I tell you truly, never wait for the world to be good. Never wait for the world to change. Never wait for the world to leave its wicked ways. But you as a human being, I as a human being, I can change. You can change. You can be who you want to be. I can be who I want to be. And that is the point. The world will never be fit for you. However bad you cry to your government, like right now, I thank God that we are here. There are some people who, if you find wherever they are right now, you may feel agitated because maybe they are not in a good position. You cannot change that. Simply because the world will never be right. And ladies and gentlemen, I know you know this, but there were those people who were created only that they go to hell. I don't want to elaborate that so much, but just take it in. There were those people who were created to go to hell. Imagine, now you have them right in Nyeri, you have them right in where maybe you are. If you're a student, you have them as your colleagues there. Those who were created for the sake of hell. Now imagine what the actions they do. Never expect the world to be nice for you. And that's why I want to give you a hint. Whether you have ever gone to church or you have not, I thank God that even churches have come to us even further to the streets. And what do you hear pastor says? When you get born again, you leave things of the world. What does it mean? It doesn't mean you leave what you are doing. Simply means you leave your wicked ways, or rather the worldly ways, and now change. And now my question was this, since the time I was never very certain of what it means. How can you leave the worldly ways and you are in the world? But this is my point to you. If you want to know yourself is when you're alone in a room. Yourself is when you're alone, not asleep. Maybe you had slept, then you're awake. That is yourself. What you think, what you sees, what you plans. But when you are with this multitude, you can change from not being you. I want to end by this. And first of all, before I forget, I had the guy we had last time, he sent his apologies. So I think before I forget, I can say this, that he couldn't make it to be with us, but he sent his apologies, and maybe next time, because I know this one is not the end, we are going to plan another one. He's going to be with us as we celebrate the Christmas, and even as we celebrate the New Year, because the New Year is coming again. Maybe we may be having something else, maybe even if not here, wherever you will be. Let you know that even if you celebrate and you make a lot of promises that the New Year will be like this, many people have been cursing this year, that and saying that 2023 will be good. My point is this to you: if you don't think it's right, and if you don't think it's true to be right, even 2024 as you enter, you will still curse 2023. As the years go by and by, you'll be cursing the previous year. And I want to say this to you as I finish. And truly, this is an honest testimony for my own self. This year have been a blessing to me in many ways. This year is when I have come to accomplish some of my dreams, and I'm very happy about that. This year, it's because I knew when I never celebrated 2021 as I were coming to 2022. Yeah, I was somehow complicated health-wise, so I never even knew that people were celebrating the new year. But when I woken up in the 2nd of January, I said this, and I want you to say this to your heart: I'm gonna make it, but I have to make it in a right way. This is your own heart. You are going to make it, but you have to go it the right way. So as I hand this microphone over, I want to really thank you. I don't know, I don't have much to say about thanking you, because I cannot thank you enough. And everyone who listens to me, everyone who hears this voice, everyone who has that urge to let their fellows know about this. I know I have a very fixed time, especially from next year, because I often go to schools. But I want to say this to you: don't listen to me for the sake of just listening. If I touch your life, touch someone else's life. You are capable. You can, and we can, all of us. Thank you so much. God bless you. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Wow. Wapi makofi ya Paul.